Yeah, hi. I am a patient with a medical marijuana prescription from out of state that I spent, and I come down here and spend 3 months in Florida. Is my prescription from my home state valid here in the state of Florida?
That's a pretty good question.
That's a very good question, and I'll be blunt. I'm not up to speed completely on the medical marijuana issues. I do know that obviously there's been some amendments passed and legislation passed in Florida, but the legislature has been slow on actually enacting those and putting those into place. But I'll let Lance respond to this briefly. But I know a lot of times, you know, what's good in one state is not necessarily good in another.
Yeah, and like Ted, I'm not well versed in medical marijuana law. What I would suggest is that you go sit down with an attorney and go through and make sure that it is safe for you to do that, because there are criminal ramifications for having marijuana and it not being legal. And the status of a lot of the bills that have been passed, they're not quite, you know, it's not to the point where it might be in some other states. So I think the safest course of action would be to sit down with an attorney and make sure that it is safe for you to do that before you potentially violate any laws in the state of Florida. Even though you may have a prescription in another state, if it's not honored here in Florida, you could still be facing criminal charges. So I think it would be prudent to go sit down and talk with an attorney and make sure that you are on safe footing there.
And depending on the state, the medical marijuana laws go across the gamut upon what's allowed for what types of illnesses and what strains and things of that. So it'd be very important to make sure, and like Lance says, run that through doctors, physicians, lawyers, and make sure you're okay, because it's not necessarily going to be a get out of jail free card if you're pulled over and you have that and you don't have a proper right to have it based upon your scenario.